Aaron asks, hi sir, do we need to make 25% of the poverty guideline for all 3 years or just the most recent year and the current year? This is related to the I-864. Thank you so much. So we'll end with this. Teresa says, thank you for answering. You're welcome. I'm going to give a long-winded answer, so I won't be able to get to any more questions. I want to thank everybody who was on the show and asked questions. We'll be back next Wednesday at 6 p.m. Pacific time. I'm sorry. Every Wednesday we're here to take your questions live. So also, if you want to download the Ultimate Marriage Green Card, go to marriageimmigrationlaw.com and come join the boardroom, the EB-1A playbook. We're going to go over EB-1A process this Friday. Okay, Erdo, your question. So, there's different philosophies. We won't take any more questions. So, on this issue, I'm one of the fewer lawyers. No, we won't take that one question. So we'll just leave with Aaron's question. So, I'm one of the fewer lawyers that do this from polls I put out on lawyers. But when you're filing for a green card and it's a family-based green card, there's an affidavit of support requirement that says someone's going to financially sponsor you. Now, sometimes we have cases where the person, the person who's doing the financial sponsorship may not have worked for the last 3 years, but got a job now and they have active income that satisfies the requirements. It's 125% of the poverty guidelines, not 25%, but satisfies the requirements. I, especially if doing adjustment of status, will base that on the existing income. So if you're currently making that money, even if you haven't made the last 3 years, the regulations base it upon that, but it's discretionary. But I base upon that. In the United States, I have not had issues myself with that. Other lawyers say they have. I filed cases all over the country, from big states to small states. Never had an issue as long as they're making money now. But they may not. So they might not do that. So at the most, if you're really worried, I would say just go back 1 year. But it depends on discretion. But I've been okay with just currently making income or 1 year's worth of making that income, one tax return, the previous one's not being there. Having said that, I just had a case go to the U.S. Embassy, and this gentleman has been working at a new job. He was making the money for 2 years. 1 year he dropped off, wasn't working, and then went back and is working for the last 6 months, making above the required amount. At the U.S. Embassy, they said it's not enough, even though completely follows the regulations. I've had cases with adjustment status always approved like this. With the embassies, it's a different situation. So in your case, I think you talked about adjustment of status maybe, I'm not sure. So what I just said for adjustment status, applying for a green card in the United States, I don't have issues. I file cases like that. I'm not personally worried, but other lawyers, 75% of the lawyers won't do that, but I haven't had issues. On the other end, if you're dealing with the embassy, the more finance you have, the better. The stronger it is, the better. And if you need, try to find a joint sponsor, the better, because embassies will do their own rules depending on what country you're from. In particular, some will be more harsh. Like the Middle East, they're gonna be more harsh on this stuff. I wouldn't do one. I did do one because it was okay. I told the client ahead of time I might get this issue, so to have a backup joint sponsor. But that's my long-winded question. Most lawyers will say you have to have at least 1 or 2 years. Half of them will say all 3 years. I go by current income. I'm lesser lawyers that think about it like that. If you're doing with adjustment status, if you're doing with the embassy, the more the better, and just better have a joint sponsor on deck before you start, because you don't want to start the process and then not have a good answer to stuff. Thank you for watching this educational program. To get the latest videos, click the subscribe button and the notification bell icon. Also, help us help the immigrant community by liking this video and sharing it with your family and friends. You can also find us on other social media sites like Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, and Twitter, where you find the latest updates on immigration news, policy changes, and tips. Be safe and God bless. See you soon.